So you're about to start wrapping. But there's a few things that you must know if you want to really create a business like this one. You need to know what will ruin your new car wrapping business. And I'm here to explain every problem that it is. The 7 most detrimental that will just crush your business every time. You do not want to make these mistakes. Trust me on this. But first, what you need to do is go ahead and subscribe to the channel because we give out clear and crisp A1 tips that you will need every time for any type of car wrappers, detailers, tinters, and PPF people that are just doing these type of projects. You see that right there? We're about to get started on this one probably in another hour or so. Let's start with number 1, leaving any types of creases or bubbles. Oh my God, don't do it. Let me explain on this one a little bit more though. When you see little things like this, do not leave it like that. Is a no-no. You can't do that. That's just basically the installer just being a little lazy and careless on making sure that he has a clean finish. Did not leave a clean finish, so therefore it either bubbled up or he tried to squeeze out a bubble and it just creased on, or he just went ahead and creased it anyway. I don't know. But what I do know is how to fix it though. What you want to do is before you start tucking and cutting, lift up that area, heat it with your heat gun, make sure that it goes back smooth, then go ahead and lay it back down correctly. But don't leave it like that because you're not going to get paid for that job and they're going to leave a bad review. So make sure that you don't get that bad review and do it right the first time. The second one, it's a little tricky because I understand using the wrong relief cuts in the wrong areas. Yes, you can use relief cuts in certain areas when you're wrapping the car to make your life easier. But if you use the wrong one, then you may rip the vinyl and it'll start to show the existing paint up under. That's what you don't. Now let me explain what type of relief cuts you really need to do in these different types of areas. There's 2 types of relief cuts. You got the straight relief cut, and then you have your enclosed loop. The straight line relief cut is just a straight line. The enclosed loop is more of a U shape that you pretty much, as you can see right there, it's just a U right there. Straight, and then we'll do the U shape. You really don't see too much. But if we pull this other side, there's a rip that's beginning right there. Even if we pull down, doesn't matter which way we pull that, it's still ripping from there. Now with this one right here, it doesn't matter where we pull from. We're pulling extremely hard and it's not ripping anything. Along with that is overheating. You do not want to overheat because when you overheat, you tend to overstretch. And when you overstretch, it peels back when they post-heat it or when the sun is out. If you don't know the limits of overheating the vinyl, what I suggest you do is go ahead, get a small piece, maybe about 1 foot by 1 foot piece, and go ahead and heat it up and see how much heat it can actually take. Because different vinyls can take different amounts of heat. So you need to test it out before you install it and you overheat it in a certain spot, you will see it, whether it is post-heated down or not. You're gonna see that spot clearly, especially if it's a matte version too, because it's gonna gloss up on you, trust me. And number 4, it's more of a headache than anything because a lot of people like to force the vinyl instead of feed them. Forcing it is gonna cause it to pop up and peel back, bubble up, and have real problems because your client's coming back to you complaining in a hurry with pictures. But what you need to realize is what areas need to be fed in versus forced in. Some areas can be forced in, and when I say forced, I'm not really saying like you gotta push it all the way down. What I mean is by using your palm or making sure that that area is actually deep enough where you can put it in correctly and not push too hard, causing the vinyl to have too much tension to peel back. But in the areas where it is too deep or too harsh a return, you might need to feed it lightly, easily, by lifting up the vinyl and letting your squeegee slide right in. Areas such as this trunk area right here, forcing that in is not gonna help. Door jambs and even areas that are very small, such as this one right here. This right here had to be fed in, not forced. Yes, I showed you all the areas that you needed to have fed in. Now let me show you the ones that you could force. This area right here can be forced in. And this area right here, well, that one. That can be forced in. And even this body line right here, right up under that has a little dip. I call it a valley. You can palm that out and force that all the way out. You want to determine what areas can be forced or fed. This is what you need to do. Get you a piece of vinyl, test it out, whether it needs to be forced or fed. Yep, this is a forcing. Got it. As a rookie, I used to do this a lot because I didn't trust myself or trust the process, I should say, of leaving too much vinyl. Don't ever do that. Don't do that. Trust me on this one. I used to think leaving more vinyl is better. It's actually not. It actually hurts you more than it helps you. When you leave too much vinyl where you're tucking and cutting at, such as up under this hood or even in that grill area right there, it just looks nasty when they find out. For the hood, it's easy for them to find out. All they're gonna do is go to one car show and show off their car, and they're gonna find out like, whoa, there's a lot of vinyl up under here. It doesn't look good at all. There are numerous techniques on how to tuck and cut in different areas of the car. So what you need to do is look at either my page, I have online classes in this link right here or below, whichever one. So that way you can see how to tuck and cut it properly in multiple areas. On the hood, the doors, the bumper, the rear quarter panels, anything you name, I have it on there. So I can always show you a lot clearer and cleaner. Who wants their car wrapped and then all the edges look like shark bites? Nobody wants that. Don't do that. Trust me. Have a sharp blade, a clean blade, and make sure when you're cutting it, cut it correctly. And if you don't feel comfortable in certain areas, use knifeless tape. It's okay. So the next one is my all-time, it hurts my head to even know. Overlap your strokes. Did I lock?
And at this moment, he knew he fucked up.
No, they're locked. Overlap your strokes though, because what happens is you're gonna get it to where sometimes you're gonna have a lot of bubbles and or creases because you don't overlap your strokes. It's gonna leave a lot of air up under the vinyl, and your client's gonna come right back to you in 10 seconds. As soon as that sun touches it, it's gonna expose you. So don't get exposed, just go ahead and do it right. Overlap your strokes. And what do I mean by this? Say for instance, we're working with this, I'm gonna go squeeze this down first, just for demonstration purposes. From here, get that out. That line that we just created right there is our halfway point. Draw that out. And even this line right here, we can go up, it doesn't matter. But that is our halfway point to overlap your strokes every time. And as you can see, we are not leaving any bubbles or creases. So what you want to do is take your squeegee and put your thumb in the middle of that squeegee. That's your halfway point. So that way, when you put your thumb at that line, you know that you're always at the halfway point, overlapping your strokes. Don't think just because you want to be cool, you don't have to do that. What's really cool about it is when the client only comes back to you with new projects, not redos. And the last one is not learning from your mistakes. You gotta learn from your mistakes. Oh, come here. In this video right here, I'm gonna show you everybody that's just having a bad day driving cars. It sucks for them, but it's hilarious. Try not to laugh, because I did.